Pterodactyl here. Today's video is going to be on this here John Deere LA 105. And I got this for free. So occasionally customers will call us and say, hey, I bought a new mower. You can have my old one. All you got to do is come and pick it up. So a customer said that we could have this. So we went and picked it up. And looking at it, I thought, well, it's not in too bad a shape. The hood's not all busted up. The steering is good. But it needed a camshaft because the compression release broke on it. So I thought, you know, the price of new mowers nowadays, because normally I would just part this out. I'd sell the deck, sell the hood, sell the wheels, sell the trans, sell the engine. But I thought, you know what? The price of new mowers, maybe we could fix this one up and flip it. Well, of course, once we got into it, I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make a lot of money on this one or not, but we're already into it. So like I said, it needs a camshaft, but we also jerked the deck off and discovered that, like on a lot of these, this bracket needs to be welded, which is minor. And if you look, you can see this thing had been repaired before. Now I didn't do this repair because I weld a lot better than this. And whenever I patch decks, I always patch them from underneath. I don't patch them on the top because it makes it look better. So that's got to be fixed. As you can see, most of the paint had wore off. Here's all the paint in the garbage can. And this is all the grass that was on top of the deck. Because again, they don't blow the decks off. Uh-oh! Money's calling. Alright, so I'm checking these idler pulleys. This one's good. The belt seems to be good. But this one, she's making noise. So I'm going to replace this. And another thing, these brakes for the blade spindles, they're frozen. So I'm going to have to get them unfreed, and then I'm going to probably paint the deck and get that Rust-Oleum. The blades aren't bad. It's got those gator blades on it. They're not all wore down, so I can sharpen them, but it's out of alignment. So they hit something. So I got to beat the deck straight. I got to get these to line up. And from looking at this, from doing these a lot, this is the side I got to beat on. I got to beat on this side of the deck to bring that down. So when it hit it, it bent it like this. So I got to weld it, paint it, unstick it, and just to let you know, this is the 5th deck that I've welded this week. I've already welded 3 John Deere decks and a Toro deck. And a lot of it's these brackets breaking off and these wheels. Oh yeah, this, you can tell this wheel had broke off too. These things break off all the time. Okay, so that's just the deck. So then climbed underneath it after we pulled the engine off. And this is the idler for the drive belt. So got to replace that. And then now to the engine here. Just brakes and scrap them. Intact single with the bad camshaft. Compression release is broke. And look, there's the compression release spring right there. Right on the cam. And I think I got a magnet on a stick. There's one in this toolbox. But all the parts of the, let me get Mr. Magnet on a stick. All the parts of the compression release are laying in the bottom. Now, one good thing is it's got a 1-year-old battery in it. The customer put in it, and a new starter, because this is what happens when the compression release goes bad. The first thing these customers do is they think it's the battery and they think it's the starter, because it cranks a half a turn and stops. And I go, yeah, it's not the starter, it's not the battery, it's the compression release broke. And there's your compression release. Push rod, the aluminum push rod doesn't have a lot of wear on it. So since these engines, these Intex, have 3 major flaws: compression release on the cam, they blow head gaskets, and this crappy Nicky carburetor on it. They tend to leak because all the guts are plastic. So since I got it this far apart, I figured I would check the head gasket. It's not blown. So I'll put a new head gasket on it, fold it apart just to make sure. I'll do a valve job, and I'll put a new carburetor on it, but I'll put the Walbro version of it on it. I won't use the Nicky 6, because you know where Nicky 6 belongs. Junk, junk, junk belongs in the scrap barrel. That's right, in the scrap barrel. Junk, junk, junk. Nicky 6 in the scrap barrel. Because I want this thing to be good when I sell it. I don't want it coming back, because comebacks aren't greenbacks. You get it? Comebacks aren't greenbacks. It means you're not making any money if the mower keeps coming back and you got to keep fixing it for free because you sold it to somebody. So remember that. Comebacks aren't greenbacks. All right, so that's what I wanted to show you. So the next time you see this mower, I'm going to have it all fixed up and ready to go. I'll put a seat cover on it too. I'm not going to replace the seat, but I can put a nice seat cover on it. And this is a gear drive. It's not a hydrostat, so that kind of takes away from the value of it too. And these little vents are missing out of the hood, but I'm not going to replace those. It'll be fine the way it is. So when you see it the next time, it's going to look and run a lot better. I mean, it don't look bad now. I mean, some of this is flaking off. And again, this mower was kept outside too. That's why it's in the shape it's in. They want to keep them outside like cars. Oh well. A fool and his money are soon parted. Well, I've cleaned the deck up as best I could. I'm not going to go crazy and sandblast it and all that. We're just going to resell this mower. It's going to be a used mower. First couple times they use it, it's going to be covered with grass and dirt and everything anyway. So I cleaned it as best I could. Tried to get most of that loose powder coat off of there as I could, without trying to spend an enormous amount of time on it. I also lined up the blades. I beat the deck straight, and I got the blades lined up again, as close as I could get them. They're close enough. You ain't gonna see it that much. I mean, that's as good as we can get it. Again, it's a used mower. When we get done, we'll go cut with it. You'll see. So I treated the bare metal with some metal prep or metal ready, which you can get from Pour 15, because I use a lot of that Pour 15. It kind of puts a phosphate coating on the metal, kind of makes the paint stick to it better. Then I bought that Rust-Oleum self-etching primer. So I sprayed it with that primer. And then I bought the Rust-Oleum JD Yellow. And I also bought some new deck wheels for it, anti-scalp wheels. They were real cheap. They came with the bolts and everything. I bought them. So now we're going to let it dry for a couple days because it's still tacky. I'll put it all together, and then we'll put it on the tractor. The rest of the tractor's done. Got the new camshaft in, put the new head gasket, did a valve job, got it running. It runs real good. I was going to change the carburetor because it had that Nicky on there, but we wanted to see how it ran first, like if it was surging or if it was leaking gas, and it seemed to be fine. So I'm just to try to save money instead of putting a ton of money into this and try to, I'm trying to flip it. So in order to flip it, I don't want to have to put a bunch of effort, labor into it and very minimal parts, because you want to maximize the profit that you're going to make on that when you're flipping a mower. So, I mean, you want it to be mechanically sound and all good in that, but carburetor's good, so I'm just going to leave the carburetor alone. We're going to leave it on there. Well, here it is. Here's this John Doe LA 105 resurrected from the scrap heap that we had gotten for free. So I think I can make some money on this flip. And I'm going to run down all the parts and stuff we put into it. But I don't know if I mentioned in the first segment how many hours were on this thing. 366 hours. So the average homeowner puts about 40 hours a year on their mower. So you divide that by 40, and this is like 9.25 years old it would be. But it looked a lot older and rougher than that because, again, they kept it outside, which I always stress isn't good for a mower. Puts a lot of age on it. But we got it all done. Looks pretty good. You put a seat cover on it, on an old seat, and that really makes it look a lot better. Plus, this has got pockets in the back for storage. You can put garden tools and stuff in there. A couple of beers, soft drink, bottle of water. I touched up this back plate. I painted that with a little spray paint. Just a little spray paint will make stuff look good. All this powder coat was coming off. So I touched it up where it was all flaking off, just like I did on the deck. And I think it looks pretty good. I think I can get a good buck for this tractor. Everything works. Headlights work. Everything works as it should. Oh, I ended up having to put a new carburetor on it. Because that Nicky 6, once I got it all back together and started running it, it started surging. Especially when I had the blades engaged. When I had a load on it, it was still surging. So I put the other ones. HIPAA doesn't make this particular carburetor. They only make the Nicky knockoff, which I don't like those carburetors. So I buy the other one that's got a regular needle and seat in it. It doesn't have them plastic guts. I buy them from a vendor off of Fleabay. I buy them like 4 at a time. And I've had good luck with them. They haven't leaked or anything. So let's run down the list and how much money in parts I've got in this thing. It's got a new air filter, a new pre-filter, a fuel filter, an OEM brakes and scrap 'em camshaft, a new head gasket, and we did a valve job, a new sump gasket or oil pan gasket, a new oil seal on the PTO side, a new valve cover gasket. Even though a lot of times they glue these on now with silicone, I still use a gasket. I put the brakes and scrap 'em gasket on there. It makes it easier when you go to take the valve cover off. You're not prying it off and distorting it because it's glued on there with silicone. I put new scalp deck wheels on there. I got them from Rotary. They came with the bolt and they were pretty cheap. They were, let's see, $15 for the pair. That's pretty cheap. A new spark plug. The cans of spray paint, which came to about $20. The seat cover was $36. I had to put a new V idler for the drive system under there. We showed you that V idler. It was wore out. The new V idler on the deck, which I showed you on the deck. Replaced that. and oil filter. Because the battery was good, the customer had put a new starter on it. So yeah, all that totaled up $327.05 in parts, just in parts. I could probably sell this tractor because in today's market, these tractors are expensive. This tractor is over $2,000 new if you had to buy it new. So I feel I could get probably $800 for it. So that's a $500 profit or $500 in labor. Now I know it seems like a lot of work, but if you want to flip tractors, especially got one for free, and look at it, it looks good now. Somebody's going to get a good mower. The better it looks, the more money you can get for it. Now I know a lot of people buy them mowers off of Facebook Marketplace, and they come in here. Now, you don't know what you're getting when you buy it off of Facebook, because most people, when they go to buy one from somebody on Facebook, they're not pouring over the thing. We have a video that shows you how to go and buy a used mower. You know, when you go to buy a used mower, you want to look at stuff. You want to check the oil. You want to look at the air filter. You want to look at the belts. You could get the price down from whoever's selling it by pointing these things out. You know, because we get customers in here that buy mowers from Facebook. I go, how much did you pay for this Craftsman 42-inch mower? I paid $600 for it. I go, well, it needs another $300 in work because this is wore out, this is wore out, this is bad. And it usually comes in here because it has some kind of issue. And then we start pointing all this stuff out. Do you want it done or not? Or you just want us to get it running again? Because I'm going to tell you right now, which I tell a lot of my customers, we'll get it running and give it back to you. It's just going to be back because this belt's going to break. This idler's locked up. This is wrong. That's wrong. The blades are shot. Because they're not looking the thing over when they're buying it. So whoever's going to get this mower is getting a good mower. Because everything's been gone through. And they'll end up paying that $800 anyway. If they buy a used one and then have to turn around and put another $300 into it, say they paid $500 for it. And there's your dinner. I'm flipping a lawnmower. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification button so you can see when we get new videos up. Because I know you're interested. You're curious like cats. Meow! Follow me. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok with the mowers that you flip. Check out our web store. We got all kinds of stuff there. Even some stuff you could use when you're flipping a mower. We got products there you could use. Gel lube, Never Sleaze, Loctite, HV350, Taryl putty. We got all kinds of stuff. And t-shirts. You gotta be wearing one of these t-shirts when you're working on that mower. That way you can tell the customer that you sold the mower to, see my shirt? This mower's Taryl approved. All right, there you go, grass rats. And again, there's your dinner. Woo! Flipping mowers!